dibujo a mano y que veremos toda la película completamente hecha por él. Ahora vamos a tener el lujo de, pues una masterclass de Bill es imprevisible, o sea que no le voy a decir de qué va la masterclass porque va a ser imprevisible, va a dibujar, vamos a tener el lujo de tener aquí dibujos, que después va a también tener momentos con ustedes, que le va a hacer algunos dibujos a ustedes. Yo les recomiendo que aprovechen al máximo este momento, porque es una persona muy entregada, y para poder sacar el máximo partido a esta charla, a esta masterclass, pregunten mucho. Pregunten para poder sacarle todo lo que realmente tiene y la sabiduría que tiene, ¿no? Así que espero que lo disfruten. Así que con todos ustedes un fuerte aplauso. Bill Clinton.
Muchas gracias. I am Bill Plimpton. Yes, I am here to do a master class. ¿Habla inglés? Is it okay? Okay. Bueno. How many people here, mucha gente, make animation? Oh, super. Yeah. That's good. Okay. I will talk about how I survive making animation independently. I will do some drawings for you, show you how I create my characters. I will show some films for examples of my filmmaking. And then everybody here at the end will get a card, one of my cards, and I will do a drawing for you. Everyone gets a drawing. It's free, yeah. You can save those. And we'll do Q&A outside the room because they have to close the room. I'll do Q&A and do your signing, and then I have DVDs and books and original artwork, the original artwork for my films, so you can see how I work, and they are also for sale. I grew up in Oregon, which is just north of California. Rains a lot. And so I spent a lot of time indoors drawing, and I loved it. It was just like playtime. I just loved to draw all day long. And then I saw Disney on television, and Chuck Jones and Tex Avery, people like that. And I decided then that I wanted to make funny films like that. And that was my goal in life, is to make funny films. Unfortunately, there's a microphone. Anyway, unfortunately, when I got out of school, animation was dying. Walt Disney had died, and the Disney studio was bankrupt. Chuck Jones stopped making animation. Warner Brothers stopped it. The only thing they showed for animation was Hanna-Barbera, and that was terrible. I don't want to work for Hanna-Barbera. But then in 1987, I was commissioned to do a film, a political film about nuclear testing. And the film is called Boomtown. And on this film, I learned all the tricks to make a film. And back then, it was very complicated. Very expensive. Thank you. Gracias. So this woman, Connie D'Antonio, showed me how to make a film. So I designed a character like this, a triangular head, a big nose, small mouth, tiny eyes, and greased back hair. Something like this. And a little mustache. He had a little mustache. And he wore a suit. I wanted something very normal and bland, and I gave him a suit. And I was doing a little bit of, back then. So I wanted to see how many weird ways I could change his face. how many ways I could make it distort. So I put a bad song to it. A friend of mine, Maureen McKelleran, who wrote the music. It's a really bad song. And I will play it for you now. Memo? Can you turn the lights down? La luz. Luz. Por favor. Ah, gotcha. Here we go. Your face.
Your face is like a song. Your sweet eyes whisper and I want to sing along. Your features are in tune. Let's sing together and turn every month to June. Your face hums, makes me a happy fellow. No more singing a cappella, no longer lonely. Loving you only. Your lips with mine will rhyme, and when they touch me, it's a symphony divine. Your cheek sure is your hair. Weave me a melody so rare. Your face hums, makes me a happy fellow. No more singing a cappella, no longer lonely. Loving you only.
Muchas gracias. Gracias. So anyway, it was a very weird film. There's no plot. There's no story. There's no editing. It's just this bad guy singing bad music. And I showed it, the first time I screened it was in a CIFA meeting, and it was a competition. And so I brought the film in. I sat in the back because if they hated it, I could escape. I could get out real quick. So the film started, and within 4 seconds, the entire room was laughing. And I tell you, I've never had that experience before because I was doing cartoons for magazines and newspapers. And so I never got to hear the audience appreciation. And to see my drawings really big on the screen and hear everybody laughing, I was high. I was like drugged. I was floating. It was just the most amazing experience. And then afterwards, the people came over and said, "Are you Bill Plimpton? Did you make that Your Face film?" And I said, "Yeah, that was me." And they said, "Well, let's go out and have a drink and talk animation." And right then, I felt like I was home. Like this is where I was meant to be. Finally, after all these years of doing illustrations, I made a film. And the film went on to good success. It was played all the big festivals. It played Annecy and Cannes. It got nominated for an Oscar. And people would come up to me after the screening and say, gosh, we really like your film. I'm with BBC. Here's $5,000. Can we show it? And Canal Plus and Arte and all these big distributors wanted to buy the film. And all of a sudden, I was making all this money. And I did not expect that. I just thought that was a surprise. I called up all my newspapers and magazines. I said, I'm stopping print. No more illustrations. I'm going into animation. And they laughed at me and said, are you nuts? Animation's dead. Nobody does animation anymore. It's a dead art form. I said, no, I think I can, make a living doing that. And so the films were very successful. I did 25 Ways to Quit Smoking. I did How to Kiss, Plimp Tunes, One of Those Days, a whole bunch of short films that were successful, really successful. And I put them in a video cassette and to sell. And I put it together and I realized I had 60 minutes of animation within, 4 years, 3 or 4 years. I did a feature film, and it's like, wow, why don't I make a feature film? Why do shorts? And this concept really was something that as a kid, I always wanted to work on a Disney feature film. I didn't care. I just do the birds flying. That's all I wanted, to do some animation for a largometraje. And so I decided to make an animated feature film. Maureen McKellar, who did the music, I hired her to do all the songs. It was going to be like Yellow Submarine, only with American roots music, like Delta blues and country western and surfing music. And it would be, I would do it all myself. I didn't have the money to hire any animators. Besides, I like doing the animation. Why let someone else have the fun? So I did all the animation on it, and we sent it to Sundance. And this was the year Sundance was really getting big. No one had ever done an animated feature film by themselves, and I was the first animated feature to get into Sundance. And they had a luncheon for all the filmmakers, and so they could all meet the other filmmakers. And this nerdy guy comes up to me, oh wow, you're Bill Plimpton. Oh my God, I've seen all your films. How to Kiss, how did you do that? And then your face, that song is amazing. And, man, tell me how you did all this stuff. And the guy was really interested, and I said, well, who are you? Do you have a film here? And he said, yeah, it's called Reservoir Dogs. I'm Quentin Tarantino. And I didn't know who he was because his film hadn't showed then. And after it had shown, he was mobbed. You couldn't even get close to him anymore. But we stayed in touch. In fact, a little bit of trivia. If you watch the film called Kill Bill, in the very beginning, when Uma Thurman is getting married, remember the wedding in that little chapel on the road? And who is she marrying but Mr. Plimpton? And so I asked him, I said, so where'd you get this name, Mr. Plimpton? That's you, dude, you're Mr. Plimpton. And you die right in the beginning of the film. So, but we still remain friends. At one point we were talking about doing a project together because he has so many great scripts. But now he's given up filmmaking, so I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm going to digress here and go on to another topic. So when I was in college at Portland State, there was a film festival, and there was this guy here who was doing industrials. Industrials are commercials but they're really long, like 20 minutes, and they're advertising swimming suits or, you know, cars or something like that. And these commercials that was at the festival were hilarious. They were so funny. And the guy was there, and I went up to him and I said, "Oh, I'm Bill Plimpton. I love your industrials. They're hilarious." He said, "Well, I have more up at my house. Why don't you come up and I'll show you them?" And I said, "Yeah, that's great." So I went up to his house and I walked in the door, and there was this 14-year-old kid laying on the floor drawing cartoons. And I said, "Oh, a cartoonist." So I went over and looked at him. I said, "Hey, yeah, that's pretty good. You're a pretty good cartoonist." And it turned out that was Matt Groening. And his dad was Homer Groening. That's where I got the name Homer. And so we became friends, and we've been friends for a long time. I'll see him at film festivals and stuff like that. And anyway, we were out on a boat in the Lake d'Annecy in France, and we got drunk on wine, and he said, "You know, Bill, you should do something for The Simpsons." I said, "Yeah, I would love to do something for The Simpsons." So I'm going to do a drawing for you. This is my Homer. Now, a little trick. How do you tell if Matt did it? You have an M for Matt Groening, and then a G for Groening, and that's how you tell it's a Matt Groening drawing. I should put a stomach in here, something like that. So, Memo, can we show the next one? Can you darken the lights, please? Thank you. Excellent. I like that. And this is one of the short films I did for Simpsons. It's called The Couch Gag.
Your face is like a song. Your sweet eyes whisper and I want to sing along. Your features are in tune. Let's sing together and turn every month to June. Your face hums, makes me a happy fella no more. Singing a cappella no. Loving you only. Your lips with mine will rhyme, and when they touch me, it's a symphony divine. Your cheeks, your ears, your hair weave me a melody of melodies so rare. Your face hums, makes me a happy fella no more. Singing a cappella no longer lonely. Loving you only.
Thank you. Thank you. I've done about 7 of those couch gag drawings for The Simpsons, and this one was the most popular. It was, first of all, it's really long. Usually it's 45 seconds, but this one's almost a minute and a half, and it got amazing reviews all around the world. It was really, really a popular intro. Okay, I'm going to stop now and talk about more the nitty gritty, how to make money doing your film for you filmmakers out there. Okay, it's called Plimpton's Dogma. these are my 3 rules, whoops, for being a successful filmmaker, animator, or even filmmaker. It's okay. Rule number 1, make your film short. Please do not make a 20-minute film. Don't make a 25-minute film. No one's going to buy it. No one's going to want to look at it. If it's 3 minutes, everybody's going to look at it. But 25 minutes, no one has the time or the patience. If it's a bad film, then you're stuck for 20 minutes. So make your film short. Besides, it's cheaper that way. You don't have to spend so much money or time. And you want to save your money. In fact, that's number 2, is make your film cheap. And the way I do it is I do as many of the jobs as I can. I'm the writer, the producer, the character designer. I design the backgrounds. I design the animation and the coloring, and I control the editing, and I direct the music. So if I can do all those jobs, I end up paying very little money out of my pocket. So that way you can keep your film cheap. And I must admit that using really nice computer animation like Maya is very expensive, and I just don't have that kind of money. And number 3, make your film funny. I don't know why that is, because there's some great animation that's not funny, but it's really hard to sell. People, when they see a cartoon, they want to laugh. So I always make funny films. Plus, I like making funny films. I don't want to make a serious tragedy or abstract film or something to bare my soul to the world. I just want to make people laugh, and that's one way I think my films are successful. Now, I don't win a lot of prizes because the prizes always go to the very serious, politically correct films. But my films are really popular with the audience, and then they get bought by the distributors because they are funny, and that's what they want. I'm going to give you an example. There's a film that I like to use as the perfect animated film, and you've probably seen it. It starts out with a cute little deer. That's not a very good deer, but you get the point. You just pretend that's a deer. And it's called Bambi Meets Godzilla. How many people have seen that film? A few, yeah. Well, what happens is Godzilla's foot comes down and squishes him flat. So let me tell you why this film was so great. He did it on a weekend. There's 12 drawings. 12 drawings in the whole film. He did it on a weekend for $500, and it's so funny that it's still playing. He did it, I think, 68, 69, something like that, before Monty Python did that whole thing. That's where Monty Python got that foot smashing the guy. And it's gone on to make over $100,000. $500 to make $100,000. I wish I could do that. So definitely check that out. Marv Newland is the guy who made it. That's his name, Marv Newland. So those are my three rules to be a success. Another example is I got nominated for an Oscar for Guard Dog. I'll be playing a Guard Dog film next. And the film was up against this Canadian film. It's called Rudy. No, it'll come to me. Ryan. And it's about this guy who was an animator, actually, a good animator, and he had drug problems. And he broke all my rules. He broke all my dogma rules. It was It wasn't cheap. It was about $1 million film because it's all Maya, beautiful Maya animation. It was wasn't short. It was 20 minutes long, maybe even more, something like 20 minutes long. And it wasn't funny. It was a really serious film about this drug addicted guy. And if you've seen the film, you know it's a brilliant film. It's a great film. It's way better than Guard Dog, 1,000,000 times better than Guard Dog. So he won the Oscar, and he deserved to win the Oscar because it was such a beautiful film. But the film will never break even. It lost a lot of money. That's okay. Canada doesn't care. They want to win that Oscar. Take the money. You can have the money. But I need the money. I got to make, pay my employees. I gotta buy materials, rent, and everything. So I need to make money. So Guard Dog was a big money maker for me because I think the total budget was $5,000. So it wasn't a lot of money, and I was able to make that back fairly quickly. So that's why I recommend Plimpton's Dogma. I tell people that if you're going to be a cartoonist or an animator, carry around a little notebook. This is my notebook. It's all filled with ideas for my upcoming films, and write them down. And the reason I brought that up is because I was walking in my park right near where I live. I live in New York now, don't live in Oregon, and running around the park for exercise, and I saw this dog barking at a bird, a little cute bird. And I'm going to draw the dog now. Although this isn't the dog that I saw. I changed it a little bit because I like the design. But it's kind of like a roly-poly beach ball. Something like that. And this is the drawing I'll be doing. Everybody gets one of these drawings. Very simple to draw. Look at that. The legs and the tail and the ears are all just little appendages, actually. And I always draw him in midair because he's bouncing, doing, doing, doing like that. And that's it. I mean, how long would it take me to do that? 20 seconds, maybe, something like that. If you're an animator, you have to do a lot of drawings, so I get pretty fast at the drawings. And I can probably draw him blindfolded now. He's really easy to draw. So anyway, I saw this dog barking at a little bird, and I wonder, why is a dog afraid of a harmless, cute little bird? And so I went inside the dog's brain to figure it out, and realized that the dog was afraid, was paranoid, that this bird would attack his master and he would lose his companion. He would lose his buddy. And so I thought, oh, that's kind of a weird idea. I like it. It's funny. So I ran home real quick and started doing drawings of the dog and gags that I could use for the film. And I think I came up with about 15 funny concepts, whether it's a dandelion strangling him or a chipmunk trying to hang him or whatever. And again, just like your face, I showed it for the first time in Baltimore, Maryland, and the audience went nuts. And I did not expect it. I just thought it was just another Plimpton film. But the audience went crazy, and afterwards they all came to talk to me. They all wanted to talk to me about the dog, and they wanted T-shirts and towels and blankets and cups and mugs of the dog. So I figured the dog is good. He's a good character. So I've done, I think, 7 Guard Dog shorts. I'm going to show you one now. This is not the original one. The original one you can see online, but this is Hot Dog. So are you ready, Memo, with the lights and the projection? Here we go. Hot Dog. Gracias, gracias. If you've seen my other dog films, you know that at the end he always loses. He's always he either kills his best friend or something tragic happens, but he still keeps pushing. He still keeps wanting love and wanting affection, and that's what people. I think that's why people like the dog. He's a good guy. He wants to do right, and it just always turns out bad. Oh, I forgot to sign it here. So anyway, I've done a lot of films. Up to this moment, I've done 9 animated features, and Slide, the one we're going to show tomorrow night, is my 9th, and about 100 short films. And it's quite a library, and we are starting now to negotiate with selling the library to a big distributor so I can pay off my bills. And so it's up and down life being an independent. I spent too much money on Slide, and I'm trying to pay off the bills. But everybody asks me, so how do you make a sale? How do you sell your films? Well, I go to the festivals, the big ones if I can, Cannes and Annecy and Sundance and places like that. And that's where the distributors are, and that's where they look at it. I remember one story. I did a film called I Married a Strange Person. This is about year 2000, I think, something like that. And I was at Sundance again, and nobody was buying the film. They loved it. The audience went nuts. They were clapping, standing ovation. They wouldn't stop applauding, but nobody was buying it simply because it was an animated cartoon, but it wasn't for kids. It was for adults. It had adult idea. Well, you can see, that's what I do. I want to make films that I enjoy to watch and my friends enjoy watching. So I was really feeling depressed, and then Sundance has this bus that goes around the city to different cinemas. So all the people who want to see the film can go get a bus to go see their film. And so I was on the bus, and it also stops by the ski lifts for people to get on the ski and go up the mountain. And so I was on the bus, and this guy came in. He was head of Lionsgate Films. I forget his name now, but he's a nice guy. I met him a couple of times. He knows who I am. And I said, oh, God, I got to get him to see my film. So I kind of wandered up to him and said, do you remember me? I'm Bill Plimpton, the animator. Oh, Bill, how you doing? Good to see you. And I said, I got this new film. It's called I Married a Strange Person. I have a DVD for you. I hope you actually know it. This was a video cassette time, so I don't think I had a DVD. And he said, Bill, I got a stack of films this high to watch. I just don't have time to see your film. I'm just too busy. And I was really, this is the worst, and I kind of started walking away, and all of a sudden the doors to the bus opened up, and this 20-year-old snowboarder got on the bus, and he had his knit cap on, and snow was dripping down over his face, and his board had a big sheet of snow on it, of ice and snow, and it was dripping on my shoes and my distributor's shoes, and it's kind of a just a crazy skier. And he comes in, he says, dude, you're Bill Plimpton. I saw your film, I Married a Strange Person. That film rocked. You're the best, man. You're the greatest. And he jumps off the bus and goes down the hill. And I was, what was that? And the guy too, same thing. He said, well, I guess I better look at your film. And he looked at it. He loved it. He bought it. He paid a lot of money for it. And I even got royalty checks, which in Hollywood is impossible. You never get a royalty check. So that's the life of being an independent animator. That's what you have to go through to sell your film every year or every month or whatever it is. But I've been able to survive because all the money I make from my previous films goes into my next film, my future film. And that's how I'm able to finance my films. Sometimes I do crowdfunding. Sometimes I have friends who pay me some money to do it, but mostly it's revenue from my previous films, the shorts and the features. And that's how I'm able to survive as an independent. We'll do a Q&A afterwards when we're outside, so I want you to hold your questions till we get outside, because I know they want us to evacuate the room here. Anyway, so I want to talk a little bit about Slide. This is my new film. Let's show the trailer. Memo, can we show the trailer to Slide? This is just a little teaser for it.
Monte Carlo del Norte? What's that?
That, my brother, is the sound of opportunity knocking. You must decide if you're on the right side of religion or a minion of the Dark One himself.
It's a sugar shaker. See how it works? It also goes sideways for the kinky guys.
Oh, I want one. I want one too.
Darn it, champ, it is not easy finding good musicians.
Give me the damn key. You're supposed to be entertaining these fine gentlemen. Get your keister back in that bar. I'm giving you a chance to pack up your guitar picks and leave this town for good.
Thank you. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Yeah, the film is doing very well on the festival circuit. It's won 13 prizes so far, and we're getting a lot of interest from distributors. We haven't made a deal yet, but in France it's coming out in March, I believe, so we have a foreign distributor, but we're always looking for distributors. If you know anybody in Mexico who wants to handle a crazy cowboy film, let me know. The film was inspired by my youth in Oregon, because I grew up loving cowboys. I had the cowboy hat and the guns and everything. And my dad, who's a banker, played country music all the time. Hank Williams and Patsy Cline, that old cowboy music. And I loved it. And so I wanted to make an animated film, a musical that played the old country music. No one's ever done that before. It's a whole new genre, I think. So I designed a character as kind of a Clint Eastwood kind of character. He has that hat, you know, that real flat hat, and sort of got a Marlon Brando lips and nose. He's got a shadow, so you never see his eyes. His eyes are never shown in the whole film. And he's got that, you know, overcoat thing going on. Now, when you're doing your character design, be sure and make them simple. Try and keep the lines very simple, not a lot of ornamentation. And he plays a slide guitar. He uses the guitar, the music of the guitar, to defeat this corrupt village. It's a lumberjack village. They chop down trees for housing and things like that. And so he comes into this corrupt town. Let's see if I can draw him playing his guitar. Something like that. It's a lap steel guitar, which is the kind that I had when I was playing music. I used to play music, but I don't have the time anymore. Animation is so time consuming, doing every drawing. You know, like Slide has about 30,000 drawings. So I don't really have time to play guitar anymore, unfortunately. But actually, I wasn't that good. So it's maybe fortunate. Something like this, very thin waist. And I have some drawings from this film out there too. And as you can see, it's a little different look than my usual films. This one was a ballpoint pen. I did a ballpoint pen of the drawing. Then I came in with colored pencil and shaded it with kind of a brown, kind of a tone, brownish tone color. And then I went again over it with ballpoint pen to blacken all the blacks and everything. And then I smeared it in. I smooshed it in so all the colors blended. Now, I don't profess to make really great art films like a Disney or DreamWorks or something like that. I want the film to look like it was handmade. I want the drawings to have mistakes. I find that the mistakes make it more interesting to look at. And I don't think people are going to not watch the film simply because it has a few lines that go over the line. And that's what I want. I want a film that is really raw. Like a piece of art you'll see in a museum. You know, you see the hand of the artist. And to me, that's important. The Pixar films, all the circles are perfect circles and the lines are perfectly straight. I hate that. I want crooked lines. I like crooked circles. I like the handmade look of it. To me, that's what the kind of film I want to see. And I think a lot of other people do also. So anyway, this is Slide. Should be something like that. Oh, I forgot he has a shirt underneath. And we've got the strings here. Yeah, I can't stop drawing these things. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story, and this is something that was a really important part of my life, a big change in my life. I think doing the film Your Face and the first screening was really important part of my life, but this one was also very important. When I was a kid, I forgot to sign it. When I was a kid, I sent away a packet of drawings. I think I was 12 or 13 to Disney. You know, I did Donald Duck and Daffy Duck, or not Daffy Duck, but Mickey Mouse and all those characters. And I was hoping they would offer me a job because my drawings are so good. And I got a nice letter back saying, you know, your work shows promise, but you know, you're too young. Come back in 20 years, kind of thing. And so I kind of forgot about that. And then when I got nominated for an Oscar with Your Face, Disney contacted me, and they sent out a lawyer with a big briefcase, nice suit and tie. He sits down at my table with me, and he looks me in the eye and he says, Walt Disney Studios wants to offer you $1 million to come work for you. Whoa. I did not expect that. And I was befuddled. What the heck? What's going on? And because your face had a lot of transitions, they wanted me to draw Aladdin or the genie in Aladdin. But they never told me this. I found this out afterwards that they wanted me to do the crazy genie. So I said, "Whoa, I'm so excited. That's my goal in life is to work for Disney and do animation." Of course, this time I had my studio set up in New York, and I had employees I had to pay and everything. And so I said, "Well, this is a great opportunity. Now, can I make these quirky little short films on the weekend?" Yeah. And they said, "Yeah, you can do that, but we will own those." And I said, "Well, what if I tell someone a funny joke?" "Well, we own that." "And what if I have a dream?" "Well, that's Disney's." And so I thought for a while, and I said no. I said no to Disney and $1 million. Now you got to understand, I grew up on Disney. This was my favorite place. And so sometimes I wonder if I made a mistake. I could have a big mansion in LA and a fancy car and everything. And so, but every morning when I wake up, I go to my drawing board, draw whatever the hell I want, and nobody can say you can't draw that. To me, that's worth more than $1 million. And that's why I'm independent. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I'm going to, thank you. You're so nice. You're so nice. I'm going to be outside. Everybody gets a free sketch. And you check out my drawings, and I have a few more Simpsons left. So thank you so much for being so kind. And tomorrow night we're showing slides, so hopefully I'll see you there. Buenas noches.